Welcome to Amazing Business Radio with best-selling author and customer service and business expert, Shep Hyken. Shep will talk with some of the smartest thinkers in business to help make you more successful in your professional and personal life. This is Amazing Business Radio with Shep Hyken.
Hello, everybody. It's Shep Hyken here, back with another episode of Amazing Business Radio. We're going to do things a little bit differently this time, in that we don't have a special guest, because that guest is actually going to be me. So with that in mind, here's what I plan to do today. I am going to share with you predictions that I have for 2024 in the areas of customer service and experience. I'm going to share with you 10 things you want to start doing in 24 or do more of in 24, and 10 things you want to stop doing in 2024. So before we get into that, you know the drill. If you've listened to our show before, here's the big announcement. If you've got a story that you want to share or a question that you want to ask, be sure to reach out to me on any of the social media channels, because I'm pretty much everywhere. And if it is a question, use the hashtag AskShep. And I'll either answer the question right there in the social channel, in my newsletter, the Shepherd Letter, on this show, or I will answer it on my TV show, which is Be Amazing or Go Home. And episodes can be found on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Roku, and you can even go to beamazing.tv. That is beamazing.tv. All right, let's get into let's start with predictions. Let's predict what some of the CX trends and predictions are going to be for 2024. The one that I have started with every year for the last 4 or 5 years, I am not going to change, because this trend seems to be getting stronger and stronger, and that is smarter customers. Our customers are smarter than ever before. I've been saying this for years, as I mentioned. So here's what happens. They don't compare us anymore to direct competition. If you are in a shoe business, they're not comparing you to another shoe store. If you're in the manufacturing business, they're not going to compare you to a direct competitor in that manufacturing business, because here's why. All of our customers are consumers, and they are now comparing you to the best experience they have had from any business in any industry. And it doesn't matter if it's B2B or B2C. They are looking at brands like Amazon and Apple and Costco, and maybe they're looking at a favorite, if you're in the B2B world, a favorite vendor that they have where their inside salesperson is just absolutely amazing, and they're hoping that you can be as good as any one of these brands that they have these great experiences with. So I want you to take action. I want you to sit down with your team and discuss your favorite companies that you love doing business with and why. And is there anything that you can do that's similar to the reasons you love doing business with them that you're not already doing? And that's both inside and outside of your industry. By the way, these trends and predictions are based on an article that I wrote for Forbes. Now, I'm only going to give you 5 predictions today, but there are 10. If you go to Forbes.com and just do a search on Hyken, you can read my top 10 trends. It's actually divided into 2 articles, but I'm giving you 5 of them today. All right, here's the next one. Number 2, the employee experience is as important as the customer experience. Now, I've been writing about this one for years, but this is becoming even more and more of a trend and more important for your company to be focusing on employee experience, because you would know that the employee experience drives a good customer experience. What's happening on the inside of an organization is felt on the outside by its customers. So here is a plan to take action. And by the way, for each one of these predictions, I'm going to tell you what you can do. Just as you focus on how to get and keep your customers, think about doing the same for your employees. If you want some direction on this, you can check out the article that I wrote it in Forbes and actually in my newsletter, the Shepherd Letter, and it is titled The Employee Hierarchy of Needs. So the employee hierarchy of needs will tell you what you need to do. Bottom line, you want to give them a paycheck, but at the top of the pyramid, similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you want to create fulfillment for your employees. The fulfilled employee not only stays, they become your evangelist. They talk to their friends and family about how great your company is, and even better than that, they engage with your customers. All right, here's number 3. social causes like sustainability and poverty and that type of thing increases customer satisfaction. So early this year, my customer experience research found that 43% of consumers believe it's important that a company has a social cause that resonates with them and that they care about, versus just 24% that said it wasn't important. Now, this is especially important to your younger customers, the Gen Zs and millennial generations, because they love it when a company has something to do with changing the world, making the planet better, or even just making the community better. So here's the take action idea. If you are not already involved with a cause, sit down with your team and find one that's meaningful for you. And that's important to also get your employees buy-in on this, and even ask your customers. Giving back is now part of the customer experience. Number 4, customers want it now. They are less patient than ever before. And I don't know if I've written about this as a prediction, but I know I've written about this as an article. I refer to it, and actually others have referred to it as well. We come up with the same name. I call it the Amazonation. I said Amazonation. There it is, Amazonation. That's Amazon with an Asian after it, because what's happened is the customer has been Amazonized, if you will. Amazon has set the bar for what fast delivery and fast response is all about. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at how you can increase speed in your business, speed in anywhere. It's not just about delivery. It's how fast you return a phone call, how quickly you respond to an email, and create a standard that allows employees to understand this is what's expected. We want to not just meet, but exceed our expectations when it comes to speed. And finally, number 5 in my predictions and trends is something that I started writing about and actually wrote an entire book about it prior to the pandemic, and that is convenience rules. Now, as I mentioned, I've written this book. Now, this book, when I wrote it, came out just about a year or two before the pandemic, and the whole idea behind convenience, by the way, the title of the book is The Convenience Revolution. Learn more at conveniencerevolution.com. Shameless plug. But here is what it was back then. It was a competitive advantage. Companies figured out that the best way to differentiate themselves, or one of the best ways, beyond great customer service, was let's just be easier to do business with. Let's find a way to make it simpler and avoid friction for our customers. And in that book, I wrote about 6 convenience principles. Now, the bottom line is this. During the pandemic, competitive differentiator. In the pandemic, it's what we had to do to make sure our customers would continue to do business with us. Often it was delivery and how we got whatever it is we sold to the customer, because they couldn't come into our stores. They couldn't do business in the typical way. And that applies to every area, B2B, B2C, doesn't matter. So the goal was just to eliminate the friction, and a lot of that friction had to do with how we were doing business during the pandemic. And then what happened after the pandemic? Nothing changed. In other words, what happened during the pandemic, people said, I want that now. Keep giving it to me. Don't change and go back to the way you did it before. So convenience, while it was a competitive differentiator prior to the pandemic, is now become the norm after the pandemic. Some companies haven't figured this out. This is your opportunity. So is there a way, and this is your take action idea, sit down with the team and look for ways to eliminate friction, and just simply ask, is there a way to make this easier to do business with, or make us easier to do business with? Is there an easier way to become more efficient? Is there an easier way to, and is there a better way to eliminate the friction that we might have? It could be a process that we have. So, all right, we are almost getting to a point of taking a break, but I got to tell you, I'm very excited about this next one, because we're going to share with you some customer service and CX tips you must do more of. Actually, you know what? Strike that. I'm going to share with what you must stop doing in 2024. When we come back from the break in a few minutes, I'll share with you what we need to start doing more of in 2024. Why am I most excited about this? Because my good friend, Brittany Hodak, and I got together and we created a special show. It's called, are you ready for this? Shep and Brittany's Super Amazing Show. Now, her whole world is about creating a super experience, and that's an acronym for great things that you do for your customers. And I have been focused my entire career on how to teach clients to create an amazing experience. And when you put the two of them together, you get the super experience. So if you go to www.superamazingshow.com, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find episodes. Brittany and I have created approximately 2 minutes each week, a short video that you're going to want to share with your team. And this is every week for a full year. So in 2024, you are going to get 52 tips. And what I want to do now is share quickly 10 of these tips. And these are things that you stop doing. Are you ready for this? Here we go. And I'm going to go through them pretty quick. Number one, stop wasting your customers' time. If you can't do something with them, tell them, help them find alternatives, and don't string them along. Number two, stop with the long hold times, which is kind of tied into wasting your customers' time. So the idea is there's those recorded messages that say your call is very important to us, but we're really busy, so we can't answer your call. Well, obviously, it's not that important, or we would have added other people to the team of answering the calls. Or if you're going to put them on hold, tell them how long the hold time is going to be and give them the alternative with a callback. And that technology is so inexpensive today. Number three, stop saying no problem when your customer says thank you. Oh, this is a pet peeve of many people. Instead, just say you're welcome when they say thank you, or even better, it's my pleasure. Number four, stop focusing only on your customers when you're looking at CX, customer experience, and start looking at what your employees are excited about and what must also be considered. Remember, I talked about this a moment ago with their trends. A great customer experience starts with a great employee experience. Number five, stop causing friction, which goes to that convenience prediction I just mentioned a few moments ago. What's in your process that can go away? Do you force your customers to take extra steps to do business with you? So find ways to eliminate them. Number six, stop ignoring your customers' feedback. When your customer gives you feedback, it is a gift. So take the time to comment on it, thank them for it, and then, if appropriate, it's a good suggestion in their feedback, do something about it. Make it better for all customers as a result of what some or even just one customer is saying. Number seven, stop arguing with customers. Oh, this is so important. I've written about this so many times. If you are getting a complaint and you feel that you're right and they're wrong, it's not about winning an argument. It's about winning the customer. Now, realize the customer's not always right. So if they are wrong, let them be wrong with dignity and respect. Number eight, stop being inflexible. In other words, be more flexible. If you have standards and processes that the customers don't like, you need to find ways to change those. Now, some of these standards might fall under the area of compliance. I've got a lot of clients that are in the business or in the banking and financial services world. Obviously, you cannot be flexible with the law, but you can be flexible with policies and rules if you start looking at them as guidelines instead. Number nine, stop ignoring employee suggestions. People in the front line are more in sync with people who are up upstairs in the leadership offices thinking, this is what I think our customers want. Listen to what your front line is saying. Number 10, stop with a bad survey strategy. Oh, this drives me crazy. Sometimes I'll do business with the company, and before I'm even finished doing business with them, I've already received the request for an evaluation. I agree it should be sent in a timely fashion, but really, what's timely? Before I'm even finished doing business with them? So think about how you do your surveys, and also consider the length of your surveys. You want your surveys answered, shorter is better. You want the biggest amount of customers to answer them by a percentage, then make this survey easy. Just recently, I received a survey that promised it would be 3 questions that would take less than 1 minute. I was happy to answer it, and I'm sure many, many of their customers are as well. Hey, let's give you a bonus one, and that is to, are you ready for this? It's kind of a stop doing, but never stop trying. Never be complacent. Customer service and customer experience is a continued journey that must be always thought about, always refreshed, always worked on. It doesn't stop when you're already great. It keeps going because your competition is going to catch up, and there's other ways that you can be great. All right, so there is my top 10 list of customer experience mistakes you must stop doing. If you want to hear things like this and you want your team to hear it and see it on video, please go to www.superamazingshow.com, and Brittany Hodak and myself will be your mentors and coaches and support in the customer experience world for the next year. And this is starting January 1st, the first week, 2024, going all the way through the end of the year. All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to share, are you ready for this? The 10 customer service tips you must do more of in 2024. I call it Do More in 24. Don't go away. We're coming right back. One of my favorite sayings is that customer service isn't a department, it's a philosophy. And it's a philosophy that must be embraced by everyone in the organization all the time, and that's 24/7. So if customer service is important to you, and I know it is, then you will love our virtual training, the ultimate on-demand customer service and experience training program that you can access anytime, anywhere. Now, the course content applies to everyone, regardless of position and responsibility, from senior executives to the most recently hired and everyone in between. You'll discover tips, ideas, and strategies that won't cost your company a fortune, but will produce what I call moments of magic, those positive experiences, and it will happen at every level of your organization. So go to Customer Service VT. That's V as in virtual, T as in training. That's customerservicevt.com. It's time to get customer focused.
You're listening to Amazing Business Radio with best-selling author and customer service and business expert, Shep Hyken.
We are back on Amazing Business Radio, and I am the guest this episode, and I'm going to share with you. Are you ready for this? I just shared the 24 things to stop doing. I almost just started sharing those again. No, let's do the 24, do more in 24, my top 10 list. Here you go. I'm going to be pretty quick now. Number one, be more responsive. How fast you respond to customers. And trust me, the faster you do, the better it is. Customer appreciate a quick response. And I often joke that if a company takes 4 days to get back to me with an answer, well, if I wanted to get the answer in 4 days, I would have waited 4 days to contact them. A speedy response creates confidence. Remember that. Number two, be more accountable. Don't make excuses or blame others for things that happen. Don't deflect blame if a customer complains about something, even if it's not your fault. It may not be your fault, but it is now your opportunity to be amazing and solve their problem. Number three, be more flexible. Don't be so rigid with rules unless they are legal rules. I mentioned this before about compliance, and I mentioned to use the word guidelines. That's better than just rules. And you know where you want to go. So be flexible about your thinking, and when it comes to taking care of customers, they will appreciate that. Number four, be more engaged. Your customers want to feel that you're focusing on them. Actively listen and respond to them when they're talking to you. If they have questions and they have comments, prove that you're paying attention. Get customers to feel that you're connected with them. Number five, be more consistent. I'm surprised when employees of the same company have different answers to the same questions. That inconsistency erodes confidence and trust. So you want your you want your customers to feel confident about you and feel good about you, and do not be inconsistent. Number six, be more accessible. Make it easy for your customers to reach you in multiple ways. And that means phone, email, text, apps, social media. Today's customers will reach out to you in the most convenient way possible to them. And you've got to be doing what they refer to as the omni-channel experience. I hate that term omni-channel, but it basically means you have multiple channels and multiple ways to communicate. And if they call you on the phone or they talk to you via email and it's split up, you don't need to start the conversation over regardless of the channel. Just be more accessible. Number seven, one of my favorites, and it's my prediction, number five prediction that I had for you a few minutes ago, and that is just be more convenient. It's about being easy to do business with. And you want to be competitive. You need to be convenient. Number eight, be more proactive. If there's a problem that you know about, reach out to your customers before they reach out to you. They may not know if there's a problem at all, and that's great that you've stepped in, reached out, proactively engaged with them, and let them know what you're doing to make it to make it right. So that, again, it increases confidence and trust. Number 9, be more transparent. In other words, don't hide information in fine print. Be open about policies and anything you know that the customer might question or simply not like. For example, I just recently stayed at a hotel, and when I got the bill, there was a resort fee. But you know what? When I booked my reservation, the only way I would have known about the resort fee is if I read the fine print at the bottom after I looked at this great price that they were offering. It was very frustrating. So we do not want to have that happen. Be transparent. And finally, number 10, are you ready for this? Give them something to talk about and be more memorable. It's all about being memorable. When I'm hired to do customer service keynote speeches, my walk-on music is Bonnie Raitt's hit song, Let's Give Them Something to Talk About. And that's not just about love. It's about a great customer experience. And that's what I want you to do for your customers. That's what I want 2024 to be all about for you. Give them something great to talk about and make that experience memorable. It's all about creating an experience that makes customers say, I'll be back. All right, that wraps it up. Another episode of Amazing Business Radio. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time we come back, we're going to have an interview again, and I promise you it will be a great interview. So until that time, this is Shep Hyken, not only wishing you a happy new year, but also wishing for you to always be amazing.